My fortune cookie, I didn't expect much, but we both broke up with our fortune cookies. And I read my fortune, and it said, pray for the things you want, but work for the things you need. And I thought, wow, that's profound. Pray for the things you want and work for the things you need. That's exactly what we need to do. And while I was sort of being overwhelmed at how apropos this fortune cookie was, she opened hers up too, and she had exactly the same fortune. And I wanted to say, see, this is the universe telling us that we need to work on things, that we have so much to lose, and we need to work on things and get things together. And I just thought, we're being smiled on by the Chinese fortune cookie gods. How can you not see this? It would have been a great story if I could tell you that everything turned around and we all saw the light and everything worked out happily ever after. But life isn't a movie. Fortune meant more to me than it did to her, and we ended up splitting up. But just the serendipity of both of us having the same fortune that was so apropos at that particular moment as we were sitting across the table from us has just stayed with me forever. And I have that fortune to this day.
That's hilarious. Thank you so much. Did you hear about the time that about 11 people all won the lottery with the same exact numbers, and there was an investigation? And there was an investigation because they had all played the numbers with their fortune cookies. And they found out that it was legitimate. Yeah. It's a true story, true story. And I intend to get out of here in time to play with the Powerball, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you never know, it might be my turn today. Listen, I want to remind you that in December, we will be at Chatham in Butler, December 15th. And the theme is childhood memories
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped. You know, that could open up a can of worms. You know what I'm saying? And in January, our first ever virtual Grand Slam. You need to know about this, especially if you've been a past winner. Because we're going to invite all of our past winners to tell their best story, told in the same format. And there will be prizes. Watch our Facebook pages for more information. And be sure you're following Freetown Village and Storytelling Arts of Indiana. And while you're here tonight, make sure you take a picture, not of that food that you've already eaten. Now, take a picture of that plate before you dig into it. And send it to your friends so they can want to come down to Gomez Barbecue. Gomez! Good food, good food. Thank you so much. Now, is there anybody who neglected to sign up? Anybody? Because you know there is still time. But in the meantime, we're going to listen to Maureen. Come on up here. Perfect time. Perfect time. Well, let me remind you again that we want to thank. I'm going to stop her when she gets here. You know what I'm saying? We want to thank our sponsors, Gelser Investment Management. Also, WFYI for being our media sponsor. And I want you to, Maureen, don't you leave. As soon as I called your name, they said she left. I was going to make something up.
Myself so I wouldn't in front of everybody.
All right, we appreciate it. Let's welcome Maureen to the stage.
Hello, it's nice to be here, and I hope I won't disappoint. I'm going to tell a story about when I was a young teacher in Ohio. I was bored. I was looking for something else to do. And marriage wasn't working. I mean, I wasn't married, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to be married, and that wasn't working out. So a friend of mine invited me to this weekend in Cleveland. Well, who would turn down a weekend in Cleveland? So we went to this overseas teachers hiring fair. And I met this really fabulous man and had a wonderful weekend. And I don't know what I've been drinking, but I signed a contract for a country that was named Kuwait. Now, no one, in my defense, no one had heard of Kuwait in 1980. I mean, nothing happened there yet. And I went home, and I was showing everyone, and they were saying, where is that? And I kept telling them it was next to Portugal, which I really thought I was on my way to Europe. Well, surprise! I wasn't Europe. I mean, close. But I got to Kuwait, and it was a bunch of young American teachers, and we lived in this big apartment building, and everybody had a giant trash can, a big plastic barrel that you pour your grape juice and your packets of yeast into and stir it, and it was wine. Magical one-day-old wine. And people just kind of kept that, and they had dippers hanging on it, and you walk in someone's house, you bring a cup, and you dip your wine, and you know. Anyway, so we were becoming friends. Well, one of the first weekends we were there, we decided to take a dhow cruise. And a dhow is this old-fashioned wooden sailboat that you find in the Middle East. And so we brought some coolers, and we packed them with our wine, and ham sandwiches, another illegal thing that we got from the embassy. And, you know, we just kind of, and then of course it was men and women together, not married, another illegal thing. But anyway, so we all piled onto this boat. You know, we brought our snorkeling equipment, and we were all excited. And it was beautiful. It was this gorgeous day. We sailed out into the middle of the ocean and snorkeled and saw amazing, gorgeous fish and coral reefs, and it was fantastic. Well, so it was getting late, so we all got back in the boat. Heading back to where we came from, a storm started. It just, you know, started kind of small. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there were things like, there was the toilet on the boat was this board with a hole in it that hung off the end, and there was a curtain in front of it. So, you know, so you went and hung on this board and closed your curtain. Well, the curtain blew away. By this time, we'd been out there, you know, we'd gone through most of our wine, and it was, you know, anyway. So there was that. But so this storm is getting scary bad. I mean, and we're looking for life preservers, and people are going, you know, you're not in Kansas anymore. They don't necessarily have life preservers, and no, not necessarily. They did not have life preservers. They didn't have a compass. They didn't have anything. We're bailing the boat with our coolers. We dumped them out, and we're just trying to keep afloat. And we were really, really scared. And we're just, you know, we really thought this is not, we're not going to get home. And but we all worked hard. We bailed. Finally, the storm ended. But that's when we realized we had no compasses, because these guys who were sailing our boat, they didn't know where we were, and it was still so cloudy they couldn't. You know, they what do you call it when you go places? Anyway, they navigated by the stars and the moon, which were not showing. So that's when we were all sitting around a small table on the deck, and we started sharing stories. What brought us to Kuwait? You know, what were we mostly running away from, or trying to run toward, or whatever? And we got to know each other really well. And I mean, we were there many, many hours. The storm was over, so we didn't feel like we were going to die, but we also didn't know where we were going to end up. And we had nothing to eat. I mean, we didn't even have a fishing pole. I mean, it was so primitive. And then there was that bathroom, and they still hadn't hung anything else for a curtain. But anyway, but we talked, and we learned about each other, and we cried, and it was just fantastic. And eventually we saw land, and we were so excited, you know, of course. And we actually were back where we started. We couldn't believe it, but they had gotten us back to where we started. And it was the middle of the night, but bonded on that trip, and that became our new family, and it really was a wonderful thing, as it turned out.
I seriously didn't hear nothing else except about the bathroom. I won't even go to a concert downtown if I gotta go to a portable, you know what I'm saying? When it's time for me to go to the restroom, I go on. I've had enough. That was hilarious. I thought you were going to say, well, then the stars came out and we navigated our way back to land, or we landed in Portugal or something. That was a great story. Thank you so much. Let me remind you again, this little brief commercial, that we're not charging you for the entertainment you have received tonight. But in your heart, if you decide that you want to donate to either Storytelling Arts of Indiana or Freetown Village, then you just get on your phone and send us a text. You can text to Storytelling Arts at 44321 with SAI in the body of the text. And these donations will be split between both organizations. So I don't want you thinking you have to play favorites. You don't have to, because they are partners in all good things as well as crime. Okay. You know I'm going to say that. Anyway, let me remind you again that in January we're going to do something we have not done before. We're going to have a virtual storytelling grand slam with all the winners of 2021. And we don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but it's going to be fine. Let's thank again Gelser Investment. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gelser Investment Management. And we want to thank Storytelling Arts of Indiana. And we want to thank Freetown Village. And we want to thank Gomez Barbecue. And Gomez Barbecue. We enjoyed it. And I'm going to need one of them chocolate chip cookies before I leave.
They're good.
Just letting you know. I'm taking my time making sure that they've done all the adding, subtracting, and multiplying so that we know who the winners are. All right, we always start with third place. And our third place winner today, Ken August. Wave at us. We'll hook you up before you leave. Okay? We'll take pictures with you.
We would like to have the award ceremony.
We can do that. If you can stand up on this bar, we can do it. Our second place winner is Allison. And our first place winner is Gloria. Congratulations. Listen, I've had a good time tonight. I'm going to have me another sip of wine to eat with my chocolate chip sea salt cookie. Okay, don't leave because we have a monetary reward that will be given to you as soon as they're written out. Listen, no, only for the winners, first, second, and third. And for the correct amounts this time. And I want you to know that this time we didn't have ties, and we didn't have to make 2 checks for one position. Because they're very generous when you win. So tell all your friends about Storytelling Arts of Indiana. And take some of these pictures, post them on Facebook, tell everybody. But mostly remember to come out on December 15th to Chatham Tap. Your story is, you remember? I don't know how that's going to go. I might have to have therapy before that starts. At any rate, that's what we're going to be doing. And don't leave, because if you were a winner, we are forging a check in your name right now.
You're too funny.
And I'd like to say congratulations to all our winners. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for having an underage child not in the bar, so it was okay. What is your name? Lisa?
Allison, I'll take the box.
You don't have a story to tell? You haven't been across the table? Okay, think about it for the next time, okay? All right, childhood memories. I know you're but a child, but childhood memories, okay? Well, enjoy, have your dessert, have another snack, get your doggy bags, but I'm gonna have a cookie right now. Bye.